Hey guys, welcome to a new edition of
Consult Lemonade Sweet and Sour TED Talk.
We just graduated from the Lemonade and Life Skills program, so we're going to give you a run through of our experience and what we did there. My name is Juan Guzman.
And my name is Tyese Johnson.
And we're going to talk about our experience, and we hope you guys enjoy.
So I met Tiara through a different apprenticeship that I was doing here at the MIC. I was walking around getting used to the building, and I came across her office. And the first thing I noticed was that her office was a lot bigger than the other ones. So I looked inside to see if anyone was in here, and Tiara was on a call. And I kind of expected her to just say like, "Oh, I'm on a call, like let's meet back another time." But she took the time to actually like pause her call, come greet me, get to know me a little bit. So I thought that was really cool, and it wasn't something that was really done for us in other offices and stuff. So I found that to be cool. And then she invited me to come back the next day. So I decided to bring one of the other apprentices. And then that's how we kind of started building that bond. We came back like almost every day whenever we could just to talk to her. So that's how that relationship formed with Consult Lemonade.
Yeah, so we were in the same apprenticeship. So I actually ended up getting very lucky to have the afternoon shift with Ty because that's when Tiara was usually working. And then she ended up just connecting us, and then we just ended up growing that relationship even more, especially through the Lemonade and Life Skills program. But that's how I initially first met Tiara.
So I think that is actually an interesting question because I applied through the apprenticeship that I mentioned before during my junior year, the end of junior year. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I just saw that was an option, so I just signed up for it, and I ended up getting placed in tech. So it wasn't something that I was like all 10 toes deep in at the time. But as I grew more into that apprenticeship and then saw how much she loved tech and all the things that she was doing with it, it definitely made me a lot more passionate. So I definitely think that Consult Lemonade helped a lot when it came to building my relationship with tech as well.
For me, I've always been into tech. Growing up with an older brother who has like all the consoles, like the GameCube or PS3, I've always just been interested in games. And then especially when Fortnite first got released, it got very competitive to the point where people would try to be the best, and like live streaming became a thing. So I tried to do that, but there are just a whole bunch of implications that like come with that. And I had to like troubleshoot and stuff. So it got to the point where I wanted to be the best, so that I built my own PC, because PC, you're able to run more frames and such. So I ended up building my first computer like that. And then that just interested me into hardware. And then you also hear people talk about, oh, tech is where money's at. So I'm like, bro, if money's there, I'm trying to be there. So I've just always been interested in tech. So it especially developed even further through our apprenticeship. And it also developed through this career academy I had for cybersecurity. So even though I still don't have like a set, path on where I want to go, all I know is that it's in tech. And I've just been in tech since I was a kid, so yeah.
I was pretty excited for it. Tiara had asked us to refer some of our other friends to the program, so I think that kind of generated a lot of like excitement and buzz throughout us all. So knowing that I was going to be in it with them definitely made me a lot more excited for it. And then just the anticipation of what it could be or what it could turn into, I think was an amazing experience. So yeah, I think that was really good.
Okay, so for the Lemonade and Life Skills program, I was pretty interested just hearing Tiara talk about tech, what you're going to learn from the program. Especially, I feel like I learned a lot about communication within the program. So I was really grateful for that. But going into it, I was just really excited to meet new people and get more involved in tech.
Once we got more into it, I was feeling a lot less nervous than I originally was because it was doable. And I was actually interested in what we were learning about. So I don't think it really impacted like some of my outside activities that much. So although sometimes it did, it wasn't to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. So I was confident in my ability to finish the 17 weeks. So I wasn't nervous about it. I knew I could do it for sure.
For me, I was also confident in my ability to complete it, but it did get frustrating at times when like your friend's asking you, yo, can you hang out tomorrow on Saturday? Nah, I got this program. I gotta go to sleep early. He's like, it's fine. Like, you'll be good. Nah, I gotta complete this. So that can be frustrating at times, especially during the end of your senior year when everyone's planning trips to hang out, sleepovers, or just places to eat dinner. So that can be frustrating at times, but it was an investment that I made that I know could be better for the future. So I'd say during the halfway point, I was definitely like, you know what, I'm already here. I might as well just complete it, but it was still fun. I definitely don't regret my decision in not completing the program.
For me, I think one of the adversities throughout the program was seeing how some other people weren't as, I guess, committed to it. And that kind of made me feel like, okay, like it made me curious as to why they weren't committed to it. And I definitely think that it affected some part of the program because at some point there wasn't as many people as we started off with. So I think originally that was kind of something that kind of affected us a little bit, but I think it also helped us make closer bonds with the people who did stay. So I think that definitely helped us overcome it, and then it definitely made our group a little bit more close knit. Everyone was like, since there wasn't so many people, everybody was kind of familiar with each other, and that definitely helped us build our friendships and help us get us through the program. So I think that was an adversity, and then yeah, I think that's what I would say. For sure.
For some adversity during the program, I definitely think communication was a big thing. During the program, I realized that people just are different. That's how everyone is. So even though you may expect someone to understand what you're saying, that may not be the case. So, you know, everyone has different communication styles, and you need to understand that because you should be playing to people's strengths and not their weaknesses, because in that case, you're gonna have a lot of people fighting when you should go about it a smart way and just, you know, sitting down and talking to the person. Oh, I understand that you're struggling with this. Is it cool if, you know, I worked on this? I feel like the Lemonade and Life Skills program definitely taught me to just sit down and talk to someone face to face and then just communicate my thoughts. And then, you know, from there, we'll be able to work together a lot better. But that's one adversity that I faced.
I think it was kind of funny. We were told that the TED Talk would be happening like I think like 2 weeks in advance. So over those 2 weeks, like we kind of just like text each other like, "Oh, are you preparing for the TED Talk? Like, did you do it yet?" I think we're all a little bit nervous about it. So that was kind of a funny experience. I think that was one of the most memorable moments. Um, so yeah, and I think Juan ended up locking in pretty well. So yeah.
For me, the TED Talk, see, like it got to a point where like I don't really get nervous for like presentations and stuff like that. So I guess it was cool. I did it last minute and I did a topic that was like true to me. So it felt like if I just saw some slides, I'd be able to put together a story. I was pretty angry that I got second. I always seem to be losing first place to one of the other apprentices, Esther. Seems like she's always beating me in every single presentation. But it was definitely fun. It was also nice seeing other people's presentations, learning more about them. One of my friends, Isaiah, I didn't know his grandmother went through a certain situation. I'm not gonna talk about that because that's his situation, but it was also just cool seeing people, you know, get interested in tech in different ways and the different stories people are able to, you know, put together from their experiences. So I definitely enjoyed the TED Talk, and I ended up getting a lot of money from it. I won a $100 gift card, so yeah.
I mean, for me, not really. I do remember one of my points of feedback was that I was like walking around too much, like I was just pacing back and forth instead of like I guess staying in one spot. So I think that's something that I would definitely make sure I'm aware of whenever I do present again, or if I'm in a position where I'd have to give a TED talk. But as far as anything that like will stick to me, like always stay with me mentally, I don't think there's anything that they said that did that.
For me, one thing or one of the pieces of feedback that I got that I'm really, you know, trying my best to implement is tying everything back together, because you can tell one story, but the main reason that people are listening to you is for a message. And I feel like that's why I won second place. I forgot to tie in why, you know, this was important to me and why it can be applied to anyone. So I think that's one piece of feedback that's definitely sticking with me, and I make sure to implement from now on.
Yeah, I think it was a variety of things. I think specifically for Juan and I, we were volunteering for Consult Lemonade, so setting up things like that. So I think that definitely gave us a higher level of responsibility to say, okay, we're going to be here. We know how much was put into this. So we're going to keep making that effort to come forward because we know how much this program meant to just Tiara, Stephanie, all the coordinators and things like that. So I think that was definitely one of the things. Another factor was just the opportunity itself. I think it was a very unique opportunity. I've never been offered to be in a program like this before. So that was something definitely that I wanted to seek out and stay for. Another thing was just like having my friends around. So like, you know, a lot of my closest friends were there. So I wanted to, you know, get to know more about them because we know each other on a personal level, but not as far as more career level. And I wanted to see, you know, what they were interested in, how we could help each other, how I could help them, things like that. So I think that also motivated me to stay a lot.
For me, for what motivated me to stay, I guess it was just the relationship that I'd built with my friends there, and especially with Tiara. Tiara's a great talker, definitely have taken some of her talking points that I will be using in my interview. So yeah, it was just really cool seeing people like care about their future because not that it's a bad thing that people, you know, they don't always know what they want to do, but it's also cool seeing people want to go into the tech space as you. And even though you guys are both going into the tech space, you guys are interested in like different parts. So it's cool seeing like that back and forth talk. So I thought that was really interesting. And then being surrounded by like-minded people again, being with my friends and understanding, oh, like you want to take this path in tech, I recommend you do this, or I recommend you go for this cert. So it was definitely just a lot of fun being around people interested in tech and, you know, wanting to do their best.
I think for me, it was seeing all the different leadership styles. So, for example, Tiara is a lot more like fun, bubbly and stuff. And like that kind of contrasts with like Kat, who is also like bubbly and stuff, but she's definitely more strict. Or with Will, who's more like chill, laid back. And then that's compared to Wally, who's like very motivational and stuff. So I think it was different seeing how everyone kind of their mentalities and how they all got to where they wanted to be. That kind of made me think a lot about my own mentality since, you know, these people are kind of my role models. So I think that definitely helped a lot having all those different leadership styles and then seeing their levels of expertise, for example. So like, for example, like Will, he's in the military. So seeing how he works differently from like Stephanie, who's still in college, things like that. I think that was very helpful for me to see because I don't think you should only be attuned to just one type of leading style. So I think that was the best part about having all the different coaches.
So for me, it was just really cool, like Ty stated, seeing all the different types of leadership, but it was just nice seeing myself in all of the different coaches. Like, even though me and William are like completely different personalities, we both, I guess, follow a tech background. So it was cool seeing like him talk to tech about me and what his path was in the Army. Same with Cindy, it was really cool seeing where her journey was. You know, same with Sierra. So it was just cool seeing everyone's different paths and, you know, what led them to, you know, be who they are now, and then seeing myself in them and being able to take different parts from everyone. So I thought having the different coaches were just, you know, a lot of fun.
I think one of the main things that I wanted to see was like more games or quizzes or things like that, just to increase our competitiveness. Because it was a lot of fun when we had to do like hands-on stuff, like putting the computer parts together, things like that. But I think if Consult Lemonade found a way to incorporate that into a way where we could like compete against each other, I think that would have been fun and added a extra level to the program.
For me, I think that just having more one-on-one time with the coaches would be beneficial. Don't get me wrong, I think, you know, having, you know, different activities for different people are cool, but I feel like just some people just learn in different ways. So if I were to, like, for example, not everyone enjoyed the tech session that's a part of the Lemonade and Life Skills program taught to or by William, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool just seeing him talk about like IP addresses, the difference between like a switch and a router. So I guess just trying to, I think we took a test, I'm not sure, Ty, but I think just asking people what their learning style is for like the very first day of the program or even before that, so that you can like, I guess, tailor it to certain people. But that's just what I would recommend.
Yeah, I think one of the funnest moments was either the personality test that we had to do or putting the computers together. I think that the personality test, I think that just made us a lot more curious about each other and how different personality types interact with each other. So that was something I thought was really fun. And then putting the computers together, that definitely, I heard a lot of laughter during that segment. So I think that was fun for us to do together. And then it also, of course, directly related back to tech. And it also got a lot of people interested in the hardware portion of tech, because I know a lot of us were interested in like software roles and stuff like that. But I think seeing people like go more into hardware and saying, "Oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like I could do this." I think that was interesting to see as well, and that was definitely fun for me to see.
So mine is sort of like Ty's. I thought the personality test was really cool just because like I had the same personality as Esther, but from Ty's perspective, us having the same personality type is not like me and Esther are completely different. So I thought that was funny, and it just giving us a breakdown on like who we are as a person, and then seeing, you know what, that's pretty true. I do think of myself like that. I thought that was really cool. But for me, I thought the hands-on with the server was really cool, just because, it was very cool being in a team with people. And then we didn't do just that. We also ended up having debates on like certain topics. Like I believe for me, mine had to do with like why AI can be, or you had to pick between AI being good for society or bad. So I think having like that like debate between your group and then having to pick the argument that was easiest was definitely a lot of fun. So I think that was my favorite.
I definitely think, well, Juan and I, we originally had gone to the Skill Center before in a different trip. So we were already kind of familiar with what it was about and what it would do, but some of our other peers, they had never gone before. So seeing their reaction to like all the different tech components of the AWS Skill Center, I think was really cool. And then like the bus ride, everything about it was very fun in my opinion. And then we got to know more about like how a work environment would be. So when we met Jerry again, I know when I first like met Jerry, I was shocked by how like laid back he was. Cause for me, like AWS is like almost like a prestigious job or a prestigious company. So being able to see how people are in their work environments, he's wearing like a baseball cap and like some funky shoes or socks. It's just really cool to see. So I think that was definitely interesting for me and for, the other members of the program, because they definitely thought that you had to be like super professional, you had to look a certain way, and I think that kind of busted those myths. And then seeing them interact with all the different techs, like I know there was like a race car that some people were interested in. There was a member who was really interested in animation, and they had something for him. So I think that was cool to see, for sure.
So for me, I really enjoyed the AWS trip just because it felt like super personal. Talking to Jerry, he felt more like not like an employee, but someone who just genuinely wanted to listen to us. So hearing him, talk about his story, what he likes, what he, what are his hobbies, it was really cool because it felt like super personalized, and it just showcased a lot of personality, I guess, within AWS. It was also a lot of fun learning about the different, learning centers they have. So they have one for just, in-person classes, some for virtual, some for, that are free, and some that are paid. So I thought that was really interesting. And I guess it was just also a lot of fun seeing, all the different like devices and things they had created at the Skill Center. They had this like house that was like fully automated by AI or something. They had a video game console that could, play all types of games. So I thought that was cool. But overall, it just felt like a super personalized trip for us. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course. I think now that I work with Consult Limited, I've seen what goes into getting different roles. I think I definitely would feel more confident. Another thing that I think that probably ruined my chances before I met Consult Limited was probably just being a little bit too nervous. Now I have that confidence to walk in and people won't look at me like I don't belong there, because I know I would belong there. So I think that's definitely something that has boosted my confidence when it comes to applying for roles, meeting different professionals, even just talking in general. I'm definitely more confident and I know how to carry myself in those spaces.
Sort of similar to what Ty said, I feel like a big part of it is confidence, being able to look at someone directly in the eye and then be able to connect with them on a personal level. I definitely think Consult Lemonade, helped me build that up because it's some skill that I really wanted to have. So, it's common that people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Uh, I still feel like I'm, confident in my skills, but I definitely feel, even more confident in being able to talk to someone, understand what they believe in and what they want in someone who's, applying for a role. So I definitely feel a lot more confident. I feel like I could walk into AWS, apply for a job role and, have a decent chance of getting in.
I think for me, I didn't really know what to expect. The only thing that we really knew was that there would be a lot of people. I think we were both sitting in the office here, and Tiara, like, she just like busted out. She was like, we have like 200 signups or something like that. So we knew that there was going to be a lot of people, probably a lot more than like we could handle, because we were helping out, we were volunteering. So I was a little bit nervous about that, but we were also part of the setup. So I was helping set up the game room, and I think he was doing tech, stuff like that. So I didn't know exactly what to expect, how people were going to respond to like the different activities we had, but I was definitely hopeful going into it, and I knew that the team had put a lot of effort and time into preparing for it. So I think, yeah, that kind of leveled out the nervousness for sure.
So for the Family Tech Summit, I'd seen videos of it last year, but it definitely wasn't the same as last year. It was definitely, a lot more people. I expected more of a, I guess, homey type feel, but it still felt like very like comfortable to be in and full of tech. So I thought that was really cool. Having to talk about, Caesar Cybers with tech or talking about AWS or finances, I thought it was a really good combination of having a little bit, for everyone. So if you wanted to go into tech, you could go to the tax center. But if you wanted to learn about, financing and how to save your money, how to manage your money, you could do that as well. And if you're a kid just trying to play games, the Tech Summit had that as well. So you had Mario Kart racing, you had people playing with these like nice toy robots. So I thought the Family Tech Summit was a lot of fun, but just definitely was not what I was expecting.
I mean, I think it was definitely a full circle moment for everybody. They had kind of like pulled everyone out of the Lemonade Life Skills kids. They pulled us out and they had us like stand in front of like the main room, and then they got us like graduation caps with the Consult Lemonade like tassel. So I think it definitely showed how much they actually vowed and cared about us, and their attention to detail. Like even one of the daughters of one of the participants, she got her own like cap. So I think that was pretty cool to see. And I think it was definitely a full circle moment. They showed us kind of like our application videos. I think that was cool. And yeah, it was definitely bittersweet because I know that was the last time I saw a lot of like my friends before college, since graduation or high school graduation was done. So it was definitely cool to see how we basically finished together, and it was cool to say bye to everyone before they left for college. So it was a great moment, and it was good to see how we all kind of developed over that stage of time.
Yeah, it was definitely a full circle moment. Like Ty mentioned, it was cool seeing how much we had grown since the start of the program. I remember not just like in terms of like a mental aspect, but like just seeing how much we all changed like physically as well. Seeing all the videos we sent at the beginning, which was in March, and then graduating, I believe it was July 26th. It was just a really nice moment. It was kind of sad, seeing some of your friends have to go to college. Some people are going to North Carolina. Some people, probably you just aren't going to talk to as much. But, it was just a really bittersweet moment, like Ty had said. But it was definitely nice seeing how much, we all connected to. And it was just really emotional.
I think if they were anything like I was, like they didn't know exactly what they were going to do after high school, I think it is definitely an option just to see what's out there. We were introduced to so many different pathways. Like Tara talked about going through the college method. Will, he pushed the military route. Other people talked about just going straight into the workforce. So it was very interesting to see that aspect of it. And then it was cool to see what people are doing in tech. Like a lot of times, especially high schoolers, we just hear tech, like cybersecurity, AI, software engineering, things like that. But I think for us, we don't exactly know what it is and what people are actually doing, especially if you don't have like a family member in that space. So it definitely gives you the ability to see exactly what people are doing, and it helps you know what you want to go into. Like I know a lot of people going into it, they didn't know exactly what sector of tech they wanted to go into, but after learning more about the different roles, what you could do, the different salaries, all those things, some people had more of an idea and they could go to college and say, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the classes I want to take. So if you don't know exactly what you want to do, I definitely think it's a really good option.
For me, I think the main reason people should join is communication and networking. I think communication is the most important thing that not anyone, or you don't have to be in tech, to want to have it. I genuinely think for every single field there is, having communication is the biggest thing, but because you should be able to connect to the person that you want to talk to, not just on like, a base level, but on a deeper level so that you can understand where their values lie, what their morals are, and just, if they're the right influence for you. So I feel like having that communication is, a key part, especially if you're working in a team. You need to make sure that you're able to communicate, whether you're mad or angry, whether or not you like this guy, because respectfully, everyone's going to work with someone they don't like. That's just how it is. So I think having that piece was really good. And I also think that just meeting meeting different people in the tech industry was really cool. Meeting people from AWS, meeting people from TAC, meeting people from like just all sorts of companies, and how they were able to leverage different pieces of technology that you might be interested in. So I feel like the biggest part for me personally was just networking and communication.
I'm going to Howard Community College. I don't know how many semesters I will spend there, but I did get into a program that would give me a guaranteed admission into the University of Maryland College Park. So my end goal is to get my bachelor's in computer engineering. So I'm definitely excited for that, seeing what that will bring me, seeing what other opportunities I'll get from Consult Limited. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
For me, I'm getting my bachelor's in computer engineering at the University of Maryland College Park. Really excited, cannot wait, and just really excited to, I guess, get hands-on into hardware, especially when it comes to circuitry or robotics, while also getting the software aspect of, programming. So I can't wait to be a TERP. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of
Consult Lemonade Sweet and Sour TED Talk.
Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again next time.